At last, they reached the inner chamber, where they are to hide the magical pot from the reach of anyone evil. But their triumph was short-lived, for lurking in the shadows was Chief Emeka, who had followed them every step of the way. With a wicked smile, he revealed his true intentions, to claim the pot for himself and harness its power to rule over the land. Once upon a time, in a bustling marketplace in Accra, Ghana, there lived a young woman named Adaeze. She made a living selling ripe oranges she picked from her small farm on the outskirts of the city. One day, while clearing some overgrown bushes, Adaeze stumbled upon an old clay pot hidden beneath the foliage. Curious, she dusted it off and brought it home, thinking it might be useful for storing water. But to her amazement, when she poured some water into the pot, it didn't overflow. Instead, the water multiplied, filling the pot to the brim. Adaeze realized she had stumbled upon a magical artifact. Excited by the possibilities, Adaeze decided to test the pot's powers further. She placed a few oranges inside, and to her delight, they multiplied, turning into a bountiful harvest. Adaeze knew she had something special in her possession. Word of Adaeze's magical pot spread quickly throughout the village. Soon, people from far and wide came to witness the extraordinary phenomenon. Adaeze's fortune soared as she sold her multiplied goods, becoming one of the wealthiest women in the village. However, with great wealth came envy and greed. A rival trader, Obina, who sold palm oil, grew jealous of Adaeze's success. Determined to claim the magical pot for himself, Obina devised a cunning plan. Under the cover of darkness, Obina and his accomplice sneaked into Adaeze's compound and stole the pot. But as they made their escape, they were confronted by Adaeze's loyal guard dogs. In their panic, they dropped the pot, and it rolled into a nearby stream, carried away by the swift current. Days passed, and the magical pot found its way into the hands of a humble widow named Ifeoma. She used the pot to multiply the grain she had, ensuring that she and her children never went hungry. But tragedy struck when Ifeoma's newfound wealth caught the attention of corrupt officials. Accused of counterfeiting money, Ifeoma was unjustly sentenced to serve a lengthy prison term. Inside the crowded jail cell, Ifeoma faced daily harassment from other inmates until a kind-hearted newcomer named Ifeoma came to her rescue. Ifeoma, touched by Ifeoma's plight, vowed to help her. Together with her sister Nkechi, they hatched a plan to retrieve the magical pot and prove Ifeoma's innocence. Their journey led them to the estate of a wealthy politician who had unknowingly acquired the pot. Pretending to be servants seeking employment, Ifeoma and Nkechi infiltrated the estate, determined to reclaim what was rightfully theirs. But their mission was fraught with danger. They faced fierce opposition from the politician's guards and were forced to retreat empty-handed. Undeterred, Ifeoma and Nkechi enlisted the help of a resourceful street vendor named Chinedu. With Chinedu's assistance, they devised a daring scheme to infiltrate the estate once more. Disguised as gardeners, they sneaked into the compound under the cover of night, narrowly avoiding detection. As they searched for the pot, they encountered unexpected obstacles, including a menacing guard dog and a treacherous swamp. But their determination never wavered, and eventually they located the pot hidden amidst a thicket of bushes. Just as they were about to make their escape, they were confronted by the politician and his henchmen. In a tense standoff, Ifeoma revealed the true power of the magical pot by summoning an endless stream of coins from its depths. The politician, realizing the pot's potential, attempted to seize it for himself. But Ifeoma and her companions refused to relinquish their prize, fighting bravely to protect it. In the end, they emerged victorious, escaping with the pot and securing Ifeoma's release from prison. With Ifeoma's release from prison and the magical pot back in their possession, Ifeoma, Nkechi, and Chinedu returned to their village as heroes. The news of their daring adventure spread like wildfire, earning them admiration and respect from their fellow villagers. But their triumph was short-lived, for lurking in the shadows was a cunning adversary plotting to steal the magical pot for himself. It was none other than Chief Emeka, the most powerful and ruthless man in the village. Chief Emeka had long coveted the pot's extraordinary powers, seeing it as a means to solidify his control over the community. Determined to claim it at any cost, he devised a devious plan to lure Ifeoma and her companions into a trap. Under the guise of reconciliation, Chief Emeka invited Ifeoma, Nkechi, and Chinedu to a lavish feast at his mansion. Unaware of his true intentions, they accepted the invitation, believing it to be a gesture of goodwill. As they feasted on sumptuous dishes and enjoyed the warmth of Chief Emeka's hospitality, they let their guard down, unaware of the danger that lurked beneath the surface. But just as they were about to leave, Chief Emeka revealed his true colors, accusing them of theft and demanding that they hand over the magical pot. Surrounded by his henchmen, Ifeoma and her companions found themselves trapped with no means of escape. Thinking quickly, Ifeoma devised a daring escape plan, enlisting the help of a group of local youths who owed her a favor. Together they created a diversion, allowing Ifeoma and her companions to slip away unnoticed. But their troubles were far from over. As they made their way through the darkened streets of the village, they realized they were being pursued by Chief Emeka's men. With the odds stacked against them, Ifeoma and her companions knew they had to act fast to evade capture. Using their knowledge of the village's hidden pathways and secret passages, they managed to outwit their pursuers, narrowly escaping into the safety of the surrounding forest. But their relief was short-lived, for they knew that Chief Emeka would stop at nothing to reclaim the magical pot. With danger lurking around every corner, Ifeoma, Nkechi, and Chinedu embarked on a perilous journey to find a safe haven where they could protect the pot from falling into the wrong hands. Their quest would take them to the farthest reaches of the land, testing their courage, resourcefulness, and bonds of friendship like never before. Little did they know that their journey was just beginning, and the true test of their resolve was yet to come. As they ventured deeper into the unknown, they would encounter ancient mysteries, formidable adversaries, and unexpected allies, each step bringing them closer to the ultimate showdown with Chief Emeka and the fate of the magical pot hanging in the balance. But they pressed on, fueled by their determination to protect the magical pot from falling into the wrong hands. Along the way, they were joined by a band of unlikely allies, a group of nomadic hunters who had heard of their quest and offered to aid them in their journey. United by a common goal, Ifeoma and her companions forged a bond with their new allies, sharing stories and skills as they traversed the rugged landscape. Together they braved raging rivers, dense jungles, and towering mountains, drawing ever closer to their destination. But as they neared the end of their journey, they faced their greatest challenge yet, an ancient temple guarded by mystical creatures and hidden traps. To reach the temple's inner sanctum, where the magical pot was said to reside, they would need to use all of their cunning and courage. With the help of their allies, Ifeoma and her companions navigated the temple's treacherous corridors, evading deadly traps and outsmarting fearsome guardians. At last, they reached the inner chamber, where they are to hide the magical pot from the reach of anyone evil. But their triumph was short-lived, for lurking in the shadows was Chief Emeka, who had followed them every step of the way. With a wicked smile, he revealed his true intentions, to claim the pot for himself and harness its power to rule over the land. Ifeoma knew that they could not let Chief Emeka succeed. Drawing upon all of her strength and courage, she confronted him, engaging in a fierce battle that shook the very foundations of the temple. Meanwhile, Nkechi and Chinedu rallied their allies, leading them in a daring assault against Chief Emeka's forces. Swords clashed, arrows flew, and magic crackled in the air as the fate of the magical pot hung in the balance. In the midst of the chaos, Ifeoma managed to seize the pot, unleashing its full power in a dazzling display of light and energy. With a mighty roar, she banished Chief Emeka and his minions from the temple, sending them fleeing into the darkness. Victorious but weary, Ifeoma and her companions emerged from the temple, the magical pot safely in their possession. As they gazed upon its shimmering surface, they knew that their journey was far from over, for though they had defeated Chief Emeka and his forces, they now faced the daunting task of safeguarding the pot from those who would seek to exploit its power for their own selfish ends. With their allies by their side, they vowed to protect the pot with their lives, ensuring that it would never again fall into the wrong hands. And so the saga of Ifeoma and her companions continued, their quest for justice and redemption taking them to the farthest reaches of the land. As they journeyed onward, they knew that their adventures were far from over, and that the true power of the magical pot lay not in its ability to multiply riches, but in its capacity to inspire hope and courage in the hearts of all who beheld it. Thanks for watching, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. We will see you in our next story. Bye.